Remember those videos where he was flippity-dipping? Howdy friends, Steve Dangle here, and welcome to another edition of Steve's Hat Picks, where we take a look at the best from around the NHL over the past week. Sometimes we start with the oldest. Let's start with the freshest. Mason Marchment with the 6-point night.
Centering pass in the slot, scores! Marchman from the slot just beyond the hash mark with a wrist shot, and it's 1-0, 32 seconds in. By Marchman, 32 seconds in. In front again, across the goal mouth, and scores! Montour. Here's Lundell moving in. Dishing in front, scores! Reinhart with his second of the period, and it's 4-1. Meantime, back in Blue Jackets territory behind the defense. Reinhart completes the hat trick as he was left all alone. And of course, Marchment with a big night.
How about Lundell? He's got 3 assists.
Yeah.
Rookie.
Oh boy, right down Broadway. And Florida add to their lead with the goal behind the net. Lundell with a right wing feed. This line has been on fire, and they score again. What a night for Marchman. A career night as he picks up his 6th point and 2nd goal.
Man, if you don't know the Mason Marchman story, it's actually pretty cool. Obviously, son of Brian Marchman, and he played in the OHL, but he didn't get drafted into the NHL. But the Toronto Maple Leafs and Kyle Dubas, they scoop him up, and they're gonna fix him. So he's at a few camps, he's in the ECHL, then the AHL. He wins the Calder Cup, he plays in the NHL with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and then is traded for Dennis Mulligan, and now look at him. How many points does Mason Marchman have in the season? Okay, how many points does Nick Ritchie have? Fewer. Some guys are just late bloomers. He had to work on his skating, and he has. And apparently, the Florida Panthers just take everybody with all kinds of potential, and they hit, and they have success. Carter Verhaeghe hit. Anthony Duclair hit. Sam Bennett looked like he was washed in Calgary. Hit! If someone on the Panthers were to get hurt and they added a player you've never heard of to their top 6, get them on fantasy. Don't even look at their numbers. Don't look at anything. Get them. Yeah, but it says here they have 0 career NHL points. They'll have 8 by the end of the week. And if they get 6 in one night, that might be undercutting it. That's a hat pick. Mason Marchment. Speaking of hat picks, we got to get to Keith Yandle, Philadelphia Flyers defenseman, playing in his 965th consecutive NHL game, breaking Doug Jarvis's record for the longest Ironman streak in NHL history.
Well, as the game is set to begin, Keith Yandle is on the ice for what will be his 965th consecutive game. He will officially break Doug Jarvis's record for most consecutive games played in NHL history, a record that Jarvis has held for more than 35 years. Yandle's streak started March 26, 2009 when he was playing for the Phoenix Coyotes under head coach Wayne Gretzky. No injuries, no illness, no suspensions, no contact tracing, no healthy scratches. None of the 941 blocks he's made have caught him in the wrong spot. Nothing has kept him out of the lineup. So tonight here on Long Island, Keith Yandle has reached the top of the list that he has spent 13 years climbing. Congrats to Keith Yandle, the new Iron Man of the National Hockey League.
I don't know what's more impressive about the streak. The resilience, the fortitude to get through it all, and not taking anything away from Keith Yandle, but let's just throw it out there. Luck? Pure dumb luck. Dude, 965 consecutive games. He has over 900 blocks in that time frame. None of them hurt him. None of them broke a bone. None of them took him out of the lineup. He never got sick. Forget COVID and everything. He never got the flu. He never ate a bad oyster. He never got a sprain. He never stubbed his toe. Nothing. And you know what's amazing? He might get passed in like a few months by Phil Kessel. Both Ironman streaks, by the way, beginning in 2009. That is the definition of built different. That's a hat pick. For our next hat pick, I sometimes think we throw out Save of the Year candidate a little too flippantly, but this is ridiculous.
Here come the Red Wings in a 2-on-1 through their top players, Lucas Raymond with Larkin. Pass over, Larkin, oh, what a stop! Casey DeSmith hanging in the Carnegie.
Raymond trying to freeze everybody. Malkin's the only one back. Look at the glove. Larkin found it. Incredible stop by Casey DeSmith. full extension at the end of the trapper.
That's so dumb. That's so dumb. And it's in overtime. That makes it better. Sometimes you'll see an amazing save like the one Casey DeSmith made here, and you'll be like, "What? Oh, they're losing 4-0 in the second." You can't choose when to make a save that amazing. But to do it in overtime and against a couple extremely skilled forwards, Lucas Raymond and Dylan Larkin, what a save. What a game saver. Literally. That's a hat pick. For our next hat pick, we stay with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Did I not tell you this was the new norm? Brian Boyle between the legs.
By far number one on the team in terms of PK ice time among forwards. Boyle's open in front, between the legs, he scored! You will see that hundreds of times!
Just watch. A thing of beauty here for Boyle. Between the legs, that's where the puck was. And the chip over the glove hand of Emelka. And the cagey veteran.
That's amazing. That's amazing, full stop from Brian Boyle. However, I do take umbrage with something they said on the broadcast. "Oh, you're going to see this 100 times!" Implying this is going to be shown on the highlights for months and years and decades, like Merrick Malik in the shootout. No, not anymore. That's the first time I've seen it. I'm not gonna lie, right before I shot this video, I hadn't seen Brian Boyle score that goal. And you know why? It's not that it's not impressive. That's a beautiful goal. It's a beautiful goal. But everyone's doing it now. They might not be in full stride like Merrick Malik, coming down on a breakaway doing it between the legs, but there have been a number of goals over the past few seasons, over this season, where a player basically standing still in front whacks at it between their legs because they have the skill to do so, and frankly, it's the practical play in the moment. Just off the top of my head over the last couple of years, William Nylander got one. Tyler Mott got one. I'm not saying this to take away from what Brian Boyle did. Way to go, big fella. But I just want to emphasize again, this is the most skilled group of hockey players we've ever seen assembled on Earth. What about this Hall of Famer, that Hall of Famer? No, guys. They've never had this and the equipment and everything. Is that an unfair advantage? Sure. But they weren't doing this. Were they? Show me the footage. Oh, it doesn't exist? That's right. That's why it's still a hat pick, but one day it's just gonna be a goal. Or, it could be an assist. Here's Adam Gaudreau.
Comes all the way to the near corner. Bryson in hard trying to keep it in. Senators come back. A potential 2-on-1. Ennis works it across. There's a backhand. Ennis scores. Gaudreau feeds it back across, and Tyler Ennis kept his stick on the ice and beats Arundel. It's 1-0.
Here it is, starts all the way down in the Ottawa zone here. They come out, quick pass, hit the man in the middle of the ice. Just a couple quick give and goes right there. Tyler Ennis just keeps going to the net with his stick on the ice, and this puck looks like it might have been deflected on the pass across. It was. Bjork coming back. You want to see him stop right there, not go by.
Okay. This is why, if you got the time, you got to watch highlights from every game. I don't know how many non-Sens and Sabres fans are tuning in to see the Sens and Sabres play. You got a life to live, and if there's two teams that you're not cheering for or against, why would you watch 2.5 hours? But the highlights are always good. Adam Gaudreau and Tyler Ennis, this passing play is disrespectful. Every now and then, Tyler Ennis just decides, I'm the best player on earth. I'm Alex Kovalev. And he did that in this game, but it was the between the legs pass from Gaudreau that started it. What a play and what a hat pick. That wasn't even the only Ennis highlight from this week. Check him out against the Ducks.
Thomas Chabot. Won't play it off for Thompson. Long pass up the middle, grabbed by Tyler Ennis. Spins, great move, scores! What a goal, Tyler Ennis!
He didn't dress for a couple of games, and then since then he's now got 4 goals and an assist in his last 4. What a great pass from Thompson, and that's what Thompson can do. I mentioned Artem Zub and how he one passes out. Thompson's the type of defenseman who's going to have that vision and capability as he grows here with the Senators as they grow as a young team. This is just a real solid pass, a gutsy pass up through traffic, and how about the move by Ennis?
Dude! First of all, Lassie Thompson, that's a laser beam up the ice, and Ennis bats it out of the air before taking it, shaking it, and baking it into the back of the net with the spinorama move. This guy, man. I've seen the gripe from some people, heck, I've probably made the gripe in the past, that some players can get picked in the first round and ride that for the rest of their career, even if they never end up being like a 20 or 30 goal scorer. This is why teams are usually willing to take that risk. Just because the puck hasn't been going in for them doesn't mean they can't pull off wizardry like that. What a goal, and what a week for Tyler Ennis. That's a hat pick. For our next hat pick, we stay in Canada, but we go to Calgary. Johnny Gaudreau splits the D and, performing a magic trick, turns Elias Lindholm into a ghost.
And yet, now Gaudreau takes a pass from Hanifin and should be able to work the puck ahead. It gets around the check of Bjorkstrand, and away goes Johnny Gaudreau. He'll work it in over the line. Gaudreau makes a move to the backhand, back in front. They score! Lindholm on a setup by Gaudreau. What a rush by Johnny Gaudreau. Spectacular, Kelly.
How he can get away from Bjorkstrand that easily, and that's a skilled player, and then get around Werenski, great skating, and spot Lindholm with that backhand pass. That was a spectacular rush, and now that's a great start in each of these first three periods for that line. They were spectacular. Open the game in the first, a strong start in the second.
It could be a double entendre, you see, because Gaudreau either made Lindholm a ghost by essentially making him invisible to the defense, John Cena style, or you could say Gaudreau turned Lindholm into a ghost because by the time the Blue Jackets realized he was there, he was like, boo! Ah, I scared you. How many of you jumped? How many of you watching on a big TV? How many of you are on the Blue Jackets? Nice goal from Lindholm, but what a setup from Johnny Hockey himself. That's a hat pick. For our next hat pick, we have a shootout goal. Now, the standard to get in to hat picks with a shootout goal, it's got to be pretty high. How many have we had this season? 1? 2? I remember Texier with, what do they call it? The French poke? That's the only shootout move I can think of. It's a high standard. All right, let's see what you got. What's his name? Okay, Connor McDavid.
McDavid 10 for 23 lifetime. In on Saros. What a move! Deposits in the back of the net. Saros helpless.
Yeah, you know, he was so perfect on that chance by Draisaitl coming down the right side again, but not on this one. Too many moves. Look how fast that puck went from backhand, forehand, back to backhand, forehand again.
No. Bro, UC Saros is one of the best goalies in the NHL this season. He's been spectacular. And McDavid just, he vaporized him. I'm gonna give us all a moment to recover from, how many moves was that? Just show it again.
Draisaitl coming down the right side again, but not on this one. Too many moves. Look how fast that puck went from backhand, forehand, back to backhand, forehand again.
Saros owes McDavid money. You can't convince me he doesn't. It's like $5, but he doesn't play around. Wow. That's a hat pick. Who owns the all-time record for appearances in hat picks? We should just do a McDavid pack every week. Can we do that? Oh, we should. For our next hat pick, kids, you know how you get to Carnegie Hall, don't you? Practice. Here we have Cooper. Now, Cooper's dad tweeted at Pavel Barber and Nasher, two enormous hockey personalities with disgustingly silky mitts in real life. Cooper's dad tweeted a video of Cooper trying a move, and it didn't go in. It was really impressive. He was able to lift the puck up and spin and everything, but it doesn't go in. Then he gets the opportunity to do it in a game in Columbus, and he pulls it off!
Oh!
We also need to recognize James Ritzert and Hayden Mast. Oh, my!
Cooper, that was super, and I look forward to calling many more of your hat picks one day in the NHL. That's so great. That's so amazing that Cooper did a move like that. Kids are doing moves like that in arenas around the world. Wow. Anyway, for our last hat pick, here's Trevor Zegras destroying the game we all once loved.
Remember, he was famously knocked out of the playoffs in that second round series with the Winnipeg Jets. And there's a lacrosse goal from behind the net from Trevor Zegras right off the ensuing face-off.
What?
And Montembeault was not ready for that.
What a move. How can you be? Just how casually. He picks this puck up like it's nothing and just tucks it into the top corner. We knew it was a matter of time, John. But man, oh man, has this kid got some hands. That is something. Look at that. That is, you know what? And even though this is on, not on his home ice, it's a shame Montreal fans aren't there in the building.
By the way, in case you couldn't tell before we showed the goal, that was sarcasm. He's amazing and a treasure. I didn't like him when he played for Team USA, but he's a treasure. It's one thing when Andrei Svechnikov or someone else has time to set up behind the net and they try the Svechnikov or the MichAGAIN. It's another when Trevor Zegras does the thing at full speed in an NHL game. This counted. It made the game 4-1 because the Ducks needed a goal despite being up 3-1. They were getting outshot by double by the Montreal Canadiens. And this isn't even Trevor Zegras being a jerk. It's the practical thing to do. Look at the replay. The Habs do not have two defensemen in front of the net. They don't have someone who could go to the post that Zegras is about to lacrosse goal. So he throws it into the open corner. Big Selly for the nobody in the crowd. It's a sin. I tell you, it's a sin. And it's a hat pick. Listen, we all know John Tortorella and what he said about the Michigan goal and how he wasn't sure about it and what does this mean for the game. And he doubled down on that take about a week ago when Zegras scored this goal. He's just like, I just don't know. And then he hilariously said, like what's going to happen? Like, are players going to be scooping the puck up and like carrying it up the ice? Yes, they are, John. They're going to be doing that. Not just NHL players, children! Children can do it. That's exactly what Cooper did in the previous clip. It's not even new. Rob Schremp was doing this stuff like 20 years ago, a decade and a half ago. You remember those videos where he was flippity dipping? It was in an exhibition shootout, but it was still cool. I don't think anyone's gonna charge up the ice and do that Jedi stuff on a breakaway. Until, you know what? One day they do. I said it earlier in this video. I say it all the time in hat picks, and I'm gonna say it again. Hockey players can do more than they've ever been able to do. And it is three things. A good thing, and a good thing. How could you ever take a negative from that? Am I losing my mind? It's good for the game. End of discussion. God. So, that is it for this week's edition of Steve's Hat Picks. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a comment in the comment box down below if we forgot one. Click like if you liked this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends to watch Steve's Hat Picks. It's good for the game.